Hello, this is Heidi of Nourish and Revive. I help people navigate health choices naturally. Today our subject is zapping Zoom stress, and today my special guest is Elise Enriquez. Welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Elise, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you help people?
Sure. I am a productivity coach and consultant, and what I do is I work with leaders to help them move forward what matters most in their life and business. We do that through getting them clear on where it is they want to go, improve how they communicate with the people who matter most, and create personalized systems and strategies to accomplish everything they need and to support them in the highs and lows of life and business.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you for helping people.
Yeah.
And Elise, she is my wonderful person I always reach out to whenever I have any productivity questions or need some motivation. She's also my Zoom expert. And as we're all jumping on Zoom to stay connected during our social distancing, I've been noticing that instead of having all this empty space, Elise, I feel a little stressed out myself, and I've noticed my clients are saying they have more stress instead of boredom for some people. Have you been noticing this at all?
Well, yeah, everybody is placing a lot of demands on each other to say, let's Zoom, let's Zoom, let's Zoom. We were actually just talking, my fiance and I, over lunch about, oh, we should set up a Zoom brunch this weekend for our family, right? So everybody's
Oh,
wanting to have that time together, but it's putting a lot of stress and pressure on people.
oh, well, it's like we want to stay connected, but it's also time is a resource, and we're supposed to have all this extra time as we're social distancing. So how do you think that you can have a wonderful, self-fulfilled, but yet protecting your time during the social distancing when it comes to social events such as Zoom?
Yeah. When it gets down to it, I'm kind of looking at things as I did before all of this hit, before we were doing stay home, stay safe. It was like, how many happy hours would you have attended on any given night before all this happened? And right now, sometimes you have 2 or 3 events that people want you to be a part of. And would you have done that before this? Just because you can, just because you don't have to drive to all these places doesn't mean you should. So that time is really important. We need that for lots of reasons. And so it's a matter of like, what would you have done before? Maybe use that to inform what you would do now.
Oh, that's a really good way to put it, because it does seem like, oh, I can just, put on a nice top, I still have my jammy bottoms on and be out with my friends. But it still does take all that energy to socialize, to interact with people, even though I'm still, I didn't have to drive anywhere, but it makes sense that it is still the same energy output.
Yeah.
So what about, it seems like people almost expect you to do a happy hour or a social event, or especially the family events. Over Easter, a lot of people were doing Zoom family events for hours. That is a lot of energy to just constantly be on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When it comes to the energy part, I think that it's a matter of, I kind of like to pay attention to the body compass. So that's a technique that I'll use with people sometimes, where we check in to see, like, what does it feel to be at positive 10 in terms of your energy and excitement, and like physically, what does that feel like in your body? And what does it feel like to be at a negative 10, right, in your body? And
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So when all of these invites are coming in, it's okay to listen to your body on some of this stuff and see how it's reacting to things. And some stuff you're going to choose to do anyway, because it is Easter, or it is a tradition, or it's Seder, or whatever it is that you're going to do. That's okay. But the first filter can really be your body, and it can inform you a lot. So that's one part of it. But the other part of it is that everybody else is getting all these invitations too. Right. So you're not the only one, right? We're not the only ones that are getting all these invitations and all these expectations around hanging out. So I'm noticing other people saying this as well. I mean, that's why you're doing this right now, right? As you're hearing from a lot of people too. So I think people are going to understand when you set a boundary and when you say, I can't. And I actually had to do this a couple of weeks ago. I said, I already have 2 other Zooms, right, that I'm supposed to be doing. I can't. And that's not common. It's not happening for me every day by any means, but it happened to pile up that day. And people understood. They totally understood, because they're getting those requests and those invitations too. Yeah.
So I'm starting to hear from some of my colleagues in the industry that we're going to hit a Zoom burnout in about 2 weeks, where we're all just going to crash. and we're going to zoom out.
Yes, I believe it. I believe it.
Oh, Elise, I'm so happy to have you on. I know that you have some wonderful strategies for helping people with stress. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about how you can help people, after the Zoom call?
Sure. One of the things that I'm doing is trying to just listen to what people are needing right now and offering, free ways for them to get support and services. And so I'm actually hosting a masterclass next week. So it'll be Wednesday at 10 a.m. And so Heidi, I'll send you the link so you can share that out with this video. But I'm hosting that next week, and it's a productivity reset. So basically I asked my people, what are their biggest roadblocks right now? And building content to support them with that. And, to be honest, it's a lot of the times I'm going to kind of cut to the punchline on it and let you know that's kind of like what we talked about at the beginning of what were you doing before, right? What were you doing before all of this, and what was working then, and how can some of that work now? But just giving people time to think about that, reflect on that, and give themselves a bit of a reset on their productivity if that's what they're feeling like they need right now.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Do you also possibly recommend ways for time blocking or productivity is great, but what if we need some downtime right now? It seems like there's a lot of time. So how are we utilizing that well? What other resources are you offering for that? I know you've offered me some, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, one of the just quick tips I would give you guys right now is to say, those Zoom calls, those are commitments to other people. Those are commitments of time. All these things that are happening right now, just because they're virtual doesn't mean they're not real and they don't require your energy. So those should go on your calendar. And in the past, I would look at my calendar and say, if there's white space, because all my appointments are colored, right? If there's white space, that means I have time to work on a project, work on producing or creating something, right? Right now I'm saying yes, and that also that white space can be downtime and recovery time and relaxation time. So I think that's going to be important, is to just manage your, let your calendar be a tool to support you in giving you some time to recover.
Oh, that is excellent. Well, thank you again so much. We really appreciate your time and your expertise. And I will send out that link to everybody so they can join your master class.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you so much. All right. So this is Heidi with Nourish and Revive, and I hope you take this time to nourish and revive. Thank you.